Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Lumière Learning Monday. Our guest today is Ananth Krishna of the Shekru Foundation. Ananth, welcome.
Thank you, Deepa. Thank you.
After many years of trying to do the event, we finally managed to catch hold of Ananth. So I feel very good about it.
Well,
How
I'm
do
a
you
bit
feel?
nervous. I'm a bit nervous because I've been telling you, no, no, no. I'm kind of media shy. You know that. So, I'm getting over my demons, and saying that, this is all good, and you've been such a good mentor, Deepa, that, I'll do it for you, the sense that I trust and respect your advice. So,
So Anand started something called Shekru, and we met quite by serendipity as part of a fitness group set up by Manisha, and Anant and I discovered that there were so many common interests that we had, and particularly his interest in farmers was what piqued my uh, curiosity, and that's really what got us to be friends. And it's been a long journey. So Anand, to begin at the beginning, there is a preface to what happened to Anand, the pre-Shekru days. So maybe
yeah.
you want to tell our audience a little bit about your journey and what got you up to this point.
Right, Deepa, right. So I was in VJTI, production engineering, and then I went to the US for masters. I did it in industrial engineering, and then was lucky enough to get an IT job and work for about 12 years. Then I got the itch to do something different. I was in Seattle at that time, and life was going good. I got a phone call suddenly from this NGO called Jagriti Yatra, which said that, hey, we're looking for a volunteer. So I was like, okay, this sparked my interest. I was like, I need to do something beyond IT, and this is definitely something that I would love to, look more and explore. So I flew down to Mumbai and volunteered for this NGO that was basically spreading the message of entrepreneurship through a train journey. It was a very unique concept that it took 500 youths around the country to basically take them to places where social entrepreneurs work and kind of show them through experiential learning and meeting the people at their place of work to learn from them directly, and that was super inspiring for me in the first year. I met so many people from diverse backgrounds, from villages, youths that were in such conditions and that had so much dreams and positivity. So that was a big turning point for me to say, you know what, I'm done with IT for good, no more IT, tech and all that. I have to do something with my life. So Jagriti Yatra was a very pivotal moment for me to look at the social sector and the challenges in various, focus areas like healthcare, agriculture, you name it, women's welfare. So all kinds of, this was back in 2008. So, after that, I stuck with Jagriti for 10 years. I volunteered with that NGO for 10 years, and some of the gems I met made me think very strongly about the food I eat, made me think very strongly about rural people, and to a privileged upbringing that I had, opened my eyes to what stark challenges that face a lot of segment of our population that are engaged in providing us food, which is very important for our sustenance. The food that I eat is dependent on hard work of so many people and the variables that make it to happen to reach to my plate. So that piqued my interest, and I did 4 years of volunteering there. And then a village immersion happened. I said, okay, I have to take some of the ideas that are swirling in my head, go to the village and try it on. So I was there in the village, for 6 months. I was going back and forth from Mumbai. And then I was also, part time in tech because I had to pay, for all these things. So I was still in Seattle. I used to come back, Nashik village immersion. And then my mom got a stroke. So that was an event that changed me in the sense that I said that, look, mom is important. I love my mom, of course. So I'm coming back to India to caregive for her. It was just she and dad living here in Vashi, in Navi Mumbai. So I came back, and so Shekru had to be parked in that sense. My interests had to be parked, but I had sufficient ideas. So I said, okay, fine, I'll do something from home. I'm going to be a full-time caregiver for mom. She was bedridden. She got a stroke suddenly, and she had to be even tube fed. So that was, that I said, okay, I'm going to make this. She's the focus. Agriculture can wait, and so so that was a period of 8 years that I was dabbling in some ideas. Shekru was born during that time, and it was a very online presence in the sense that we had created a mobile app, and we felt that the information in vernacular in Marathi is what the farmers understand. They don't understand English, so either Hindi or Marathi. And Marathi is something mother tongue. You feel it. you feel the knowledge, in the sense. So I said, let me do it in Marathi, and it was a challenge for me because I, Mumbaikar and not non-Maharashtrian. So, but I embraced the challenge. I said, listen, challenges are going to come. I have to take it on. I love languages, so I said, you know what, it's okay. I mean, I will find a good partner to do it with, in the sense that they will help me as well. So online Shekru was born at that time. And we have pivoted from that over time to what we're doing right now. But mom was a priority. Mom was there till 2019. And then I had dad for 4 more years. So, slowly the offline, when I got more time, and, since dad's passing last year, then I've become a lot more aggressive on going the on ground presence. And, through this journey, I've had a lot of mentors. I've had, people that have helped me, shape this idea and this journey that it has come so far. So that is where I am right now. That going through all these stages after starting in engineering, tech, and coming to agriculture.
Yeah. In fact, in the early days when we met, it was primarily online, and the opportunity space you identified was the communication information gap. You want to talk about that piece on how you built the tech, uh, uh, the Shekru app, and what was your vision for it at that time?
Right. So this was back in 2014. This was before WhatsApp came in the picture. Smartphones had just entered the arena. A lot of dumb phones were there. So we said that, when I was doing my village immersion, I had three, four ideas to look at. There was also the activism angle. There's so many challenges in the farming sector. The activism angle has a very low barrier to enter. But something that was very strongly held in my mind is Naribazi is one thing, but to do actually something with your hands, build something is something even more fruitful. I mean, I'm not discounting activism. Believe me, I trust. I mean, I respect activism, but entrepreneurship and that knowledge which came from Jagriti, the wisdom that came from Jagriti, that entrepreneurship is a way to go. That was very inspiring. So I looked at what gaps there were, what came from our village immersion, that there are certain knowledge that is not reaching the farmer in the vernacular. There were a lot of English resources. So I saw a gap. I had a tech background. So I said, hey, a mobile app would be great, but it has to be, in vernacular. So we were very, very clear what our goals were and what sets of information were not reaching the farmers. So those sets were schemes, government schemes, and various other kinds of schemes. So we felt this was a gap that was not reaching the farmer in a very succinct way. Give me a brief of the scheme. Let me, if I'm interested, I'll dig further. Who to reach? What is it going to give you? Are you qualified for that? Even that fundamental knowledge was not there with the farmers. So this is pre-WhatsApp days. So sharing was very less, and there were islands of information that people held, and it didn't reach the beneficiaries, and it didn't reach the people that needed it. So I saw the gap. I said, okay, let's make a mobile app. So we created a mobile app. We listed, all the schemes. We listed about 500 schemes in various, focus areas of agriculture, including women's, welfare, and which touched upon, because in village you can't just say isolate agriculture and say, oh, I'm only going to face agriculture, because everything ties into the whole
Yeah.
story. Right. So we did a mobile app for listing various data sets of information. We also did an audio podcast. We recorded people in audio, put that because it's low bandwidth, so people can easily download. Even the most very basic smartphones can handle it. So there were a lot of criteria that went in designing an app at that time. Was that vernacular? It has to be low footprint, and it has to be audio visual, in the sense at least audio video nahi karenge. YouTube was there, but people still didn't reach the masses at that time. This was back in 2015, 2016. So that's where we were with the mobile app for Shekru. And that we ran for 4 years, very well.
4 years.
4 years or 5 years we ran about till Corona hit. And then this again another pivot happened, that we said, WhatsApp has come. The information is more democratic now. Everybody wants everything in WhatsApp. Nobody wants to come to the app. App के लिए जगह नहीं है phone में, क्योंकि इतना देर सारा WhatsApp ने पूरा cannibalize कर दिया phone को. So we said, okay, fine. We know where we are. At the right time, make the pivot. So we said, let's do visual video. And since Corona put everybody inbound, we felt that video was a very good medium. And we work with various stakeholders in the agriculture sector. So we work with the government institutions, we work with entrepreneurs, we work with, and get them on the video platform to designate the information in vernacular. We said very, very clear, we want to do it in Marathi. And I don't care if you don't have translation tools, what you have to go through, but please, we insisted that it has to be in Marathi. And that was a challenge. Because everybody was giving us excuses like, "Nahi, English mein hum Marathi mein baat karenge." But faida kya hai? You might as well put it in Chinese then. Why bother with Marathi then? So that was a big challenge. It's still a challenge. because people still come with slides in Marathi, in English, and speak in Marathi and say that is enough. So, so that is still a challenge, and we still feel the gap of there is, and we're not able to find people to come and do it. We really wish more people would volunteer their time and do this, because this is pretty much a charitable thing. We're not asking for money, we're not paying money. So that
You all,
online still goes on. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah. So, no, no. So, you mentioned earlier in the conversation that having right partners is also very important. So, you needed to have a team. Ananth, how did you go about putting that together in the early days of building the app
It is
and
very
then
difficult.
maintaining it?
Very difficult,
Very
because
difficult.
very difficult. I mean, to find the right mindset of people. And Deepa, I'm a type A in the sense I'm very obsessive and very aggressive about things. So you have to find the appropriate people that will gel with my way of working, and they know my intentions are for the the good of it. And when
Correct.
you're a type A, aggressive and obsessive about details, it's no chalta hai types, and that will not do. You don't find that many people that will be a good fit. And it's funny because somebody asked a friend of mine, and this guy is also closely associated with us. He said, and this guy we did, some events with. He said, "How do you work with Ananth? He's so this. He's so aggressive. I will never work with him." And my friend said, "I've known him for 10 years. We've been together for 10 years. I know where he is. I know what he means and what he comes across." So I think people that are very driven and people that are very obsessive, it's very difficult to find like-minded partners. And I don't blame the partners necessarily, mind you. So finding the right partner is a challenge for many people in this sector. And a lot of people, it's very difficult. And I'm very proud to say now I'm comfortable with the people I've worked with. But it's been a journey for them and a journey for me as well, because everybody has to compromise to what talent you get and what,
Yeah.
it's like a marriage.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's that. And since I'm not married, I didn't go through that. So it came, it's like a marriage with a co-founder or partner or people I work with. So, presently, which we'll talk about in a little bit of what I'm doing presently, it's taken me a journey to find, like-minded people to work with, so that is a challenge. It is a challenge for everybody in the social sector. It is a challenge for everybody anywhere to find a like-minded co-founder or a partner.
Also, I'm very curious to know why Shekru and why Maharashtra and keep the focus to Maharashtra, and how did you get the name Shekru?
Right. So everybody who starts, like I did a village immersion, there were so many ideas coming at me, and that was a big challenge. And I think I came to you as well. You and Milind were very good with mentorship at that time. There's so many things are coming at you. I want to do that. I want to do this. Oh, this is interesting. How do you sort out and start, filtering out what you want to focus on? So you do boundaries and say this is the scope I take, and that is how the focus was born. That let me take Maharashtra at this point, because I don't, agriculture is very different in different states. It's a culture, right? So culture changes across, every kilometer, like we say, the bhasha changes, the language changes. So culture is so vibrant and dynamic in India, and it changes so much that there is diversity inherently built everywhere. So to take on more states and the whole country was just too much. We said, Maharashtra, somehow we can draw at least a language, commonality. So that focus was born, that I will do it for Maharashtra and that's it, because I will work on it first and then scale up if we need to or whatever. But let me take this challenge. And everybody said, you're taking too many challenges at the same time. You're taking the state challenge, the language challenge, the sector challenge, because you're coming anywhere. I said, listen, I want to do it. I've decided I'm going to do it in this focus, which is agriculture. I'm going to do it in this idea of information, because information technology is where I came from. I want to do it for Maharashtra, and Marathi, is going to be. So I have to learn all the languages, learn agriculture, that's fine. I'll do it. But I had a lot of people that advised me and said no. And then obviously then we were looking up for names. What would be apt for Maharashtra? So, just a Google search, and Shekru was there, in the sense it's a state animal of Maharashtra for people that don't know. And I didn't know though I'm born and brought up and educated in Mumbai, I'm ashamed to say that I didn't know that as well. So just a Google search, got Shekru, and I was like, I learned more about it, and that just fit. And I need something catchy, I need something relevant to nature, because I am a nature lover. We do a lot of natural stuff. And Shekru was perfect. It is found everywhere. It's a squirrel found in Bhima Shankar Forest, for those that don't know. It's a Malabar squirrel, and it's found in Gadchiroli as well. So it's not like it's there in Konkan alone, and it's endangered. So it's a beautiful, and it fit well. So I said, okay, let's take Shekru, So that's how it came about. Nothing more than that. But the focus was Maharashtra. That I don't want to take too much. That was just, the challenges are multiplying then if we expand the geographical area.
So tell us a little bit about Shekru TV that you started at the lockdown. Where are you now? How many events and what kind of focus did you keep for your themes and your content?
Right. So it is an online medium. We were with the mobile app, which we closed it just 3 years ago, just pre-corona, we closed it and became all video only. And now I look back, I felt maybe we shouldn't have closed it, because a lot of people inquired about it now. They're saying, where is your app? We got a listing, we got a beautiful, succinct way of looking at things, and you were no frill and all that. But then when we started on videos, we wanted a name which we could operate under. And Shekru TV, somebody said, put the TV word to it. But I was hesitant, saying TV डालेगा तो और कुछ आएगा. हम लोग TV नहीं है. We just want something. But it stuck. And so we said we will bring all the stakeholders, because we inherently are not experts. So we are enablers of the information flow, enabling the right stakeholders to reach the farmers at the right time, because time is very, very crucial. If you're talking about the sowing season, it starts now in June. So you need to now talk about what decisions farmers need to make, and how do they do pre-sowing, seed treatment, and all that. Very contextual, very timely information that is very, very critical on a bunch of things. So that was missing, and a medium we provided through Shekru TV, where we involved all the Krishi Vigyan Kendras in the state. There were 40 of them. We reached out to quite a few. At the peak of our thing, when we were Corona time, we were working with nearly like 10 to 20 KVKs. And we were doing the programs every week. So we used to moderate the discussion. They would bring their experts, and we would say, keep the slides in Marathi, of course. And, and then we would interact, bring the farmers as well, spread the word about it. And then, put it all on all social media, so it's there forever. And we also put it in our partners' social media. So we told them, look, in case Shekru dies, you have a copy of what you have created. So that way, that's a win for you. We are not here to pay you money. We are a charitable cause. We just want this gap to be filled. So we will put it in your mediums as well. So your YouTube, your Facebook, you have a copy. So that was very appealing to a lot of institutions, because they didn't have the bandwidth to do it. And they found this entity that came and helped them do that, and enabled them to reach their community of farmers as well, because they were struggling with tech and they didn't know, they were not tech savvy. That is not their focus. So we fit the perfect gap at that time during Corona, that we ran very, very smoothly. We got a lot of stakeholders involved. The KVKs are one set of stakeholders, like I said. Then there is government, there is ICR institutions, national institutions, then there is entrepreneurs, there's other NGOs. So many people doing good work, and so many different aspects. And as you understand, there's so many crops. Maharashtra is blessed with fantastic soil and very diverse agroecology zones. In the sense, Konkan is rainy, humid, whereas like Vidarbha is dry and hot. So there is so much diversity. So there's no shortage of topics. We're just shortage of experts right now, who in the sense that we want them to come and do this through our media. But the catch for many was that we put the media in their property as well. So they have a copy. So Shekru TV has done about 940 sessions so far, and we do about 2 to 3 sessions a week. And we try to steer the conversation towards natural and organic options, because we feel that we have that as our focus area, and that should be asked. Even maybe others don't ask, and we feel a responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Because chemical farming is it's scaled up. Whatever green revolution, all that stuff, everybody knows. We have a rising population, so chemicals. I'm not against chemicals as such, but a judicial use of chemicals, a moderate position. So organic and natural means we felt a responsibility, and that's where the idea led to the on-ground presence, the focus of what we want to do on ground. So we can.
You want to show us a little bit about where you are on the on ground now?
Right. So the on-ground focus came about through these sessions, that, hey, you know what? We have to talk about organic and natural options. And we have a history of it. We have a big history of it. So then we found our partners. Okay, ठीक है, अभी I want to do something on ground. Online तो चल रहा है, तो on ground के लिए. That was a process that took 2 years to find the right partner on the ground. So I found a beautiful farm. Actually, I'm working with 2 projects. One is Buldana district of Maharashtra, and the other is Washim district, which is south of Buldana. And I found these 2 partners I don't know, it was meant to be some higher power up there that connected me to these 2, fellows, and it just was an amazing fit. It took time. So, me being so aggressive and obsessive and all that had to develop some patience. And a lot of patience, to work, to help, do the cultural differences and social, challenges. And I'm coming from the city, and all that. This is a journey of a rural entrepreneur from an urban person who wants to come to a rural space and wants to work. There's so much cultural differences, and it was almost a point where I was going to the US, where are cultural things I faced there. Those seemed much more, in a sense, because of the language issue. There was all sorts of issues, So, but I can tell you that I didn't ever feel this much, at home in India than I would have felt in the US. I wouldn't have done this in the US. And the reason I came back and I never want to go back to the US is because I found the right partners, I found my purpose of what I want to do. And the online thing has come across, on ground thing has come across so beautifully that it is, it's like a dream come true. A dream that took, 14 years to materialize.
Yeah.
14 years after the various pivots, and Deepa and Milind, you've both been through that. You've mentored me and some incubators as well, like Rambha Malki Prabodhni. But it took 14 years for this, and it took a lot of patience, and it took a lot of I don't know what to say, because the world just went very fast at that time, and there was a feeling that, hey, I'm missing out. Would I be of any use because I'm sitting at home and not able to do it? So I'm very happy to report now that we have started the on ground center. Last 3 years we have been very stealth. We have not talked about it because we felt that the work should do the talking, and
Yeah.
that is just the nature, who I am, and that is why I'm very reluctant to come online and talk about it. Is I want people to come and visit and see it for themselves. So
Yeah.
what we want to do on ground is to promote natural farming, to evangelize it. We found a farmer family, Banudas Vanare and Ganga Vanare, and we did 15 sessions with them on Shekru TV. So we went through a 15 session
Oh,
period. Yeah, we did 15 sessions before I committed to anything on ground. Really knew him well, what he has done, and I spent some time with the family. We found we were, made for each other in the sense that, somebody's putting us together. And this is really random. Both the families I work with, and it's a family operated enterprise because I believe that the entire family contributes to it. In a rural setting, it's not the man alone or the women alone. That's what makes it successful. That the entire
yeah.
family runs it. So it's a family-run enterprise. That is what we are promoting in both the places. The dynamics are very different, but the kind of people I got after such a long journey of wanting to work with partners on ground, because I was a foreigner in the sense that I'm coming from Mumbai.
Yeah.
I mean, it just made looking back, I'm like, maybe it was meant to be that way, that this person was going to be a partner, and that's where the higher powers want us to work together. So we have set up a center in their land, and it's the natural farming center along with a Goshala. The cow is integral to natural farming. The cow has
Okay.
all, you cannot take the cow out. The cow's
Okay.
of gobar and gomutra. If the cow goes, natural and organic farming go. It's simple.
Uh,
If livestock goes, then we are dead. The whole humanity is going to have, because we can't throw chemicals all the time. The chemicals are not going to, help us through our journey, as we are seeing now. Some
Correct.
livestock has to be there, either poultry, either cattle or pigs or something, because their dung is very, very integral to natural and organic farming. And that's where the concept of this bio input resource center was born, which
Uh,
is alternative to the chemical retailer. So farmer goes to a chemical retailer and buys pesticides, chemicals, and all that. What we are saying is, in a bio input center, we have some concoctions, mixtures, ark and dravans and all that historically. Jivamrit banao, neem ark banao, neem se banao. Neem is a very good biopesticide. So we have like hundreds of concoctions like this, leftover fish, ande, neem se, I mean, all sorts of things. Bioenzymes, everything you can make yourself, and you can treat most of the conditions. ठीक है अगर
wow.
breaking your livelihood, then you go and get the chemicals. ठीक है, I'm open for that, because it is a livelihood in the sense I also have to pay and pay my bills. I isn't talking about the farmer. So I'm not like putting a fatwa saying don't use chemicals at all. I'm being very realistic to the situation out there, because climate change has brought such a dynamic situation to the rural places that they are struggling with farming these days. Farming is very, very tough. I am privileged to sit in an AC room today, but the guy there is sitting in 48 degrees weather. He doesn't know. Suddenly the cloud moves in, the rain starts, and his plant is, at the flowering stage, all the flowers droop, and the entire harvest is lost. So whether climate change is so dynamic right now. Anyway, I'll come back to that later. So we set this center up saying that we will sell bio inputs, we will train other farmers. The cow, which is integral part of our existence, will also, there's the animal welfare angle, because we want to feed it natural as well. We don't want to
Okay.
give antibiotics, we don't want to give it steroids, and we don't want to give it hormones. So what are the alternatives? We want to promote that as well, because that also comes under natural farming. Because we want
Correct.
healthy, we want to give, different types of herbs are there. We have such a big history of herbs, lemongrass, all sorts of herbs are there that can make the cow a natural animal. And it doesn't, we don't need to resort to antibiotics, growth hormones, steroids, and blah blah blah, which farmers are giving unfortunately today, and the milk we drink is quite toxic in that sense. So that is where our objective was with this center, to evangelize natural farming, to sell inputs, to do demo and trainings, and to also talk about animal welfare and talk about the integral part livestock plays and how we have to take care of the livestock so they provide for us. there has to be respect. Okay, there are a lot of challenges, we accept that, but we have alternatives in natural farming systems, in organic farming systems, in bio farming systems. These all come under the word agroecology. So you take care of the ecology in agriculture. It is together. You cannot ignore the ecology. So,
Correct.
so you bring the aspects of it and you say broadly agroecology, under that falls organic, natural, and bio. Okay? So I'll just share very quickly what our center
Yeah,
come about.
please.
Just starting training from June 1st,
June.
and we already have some visits that have come. So can you see my screen?
Not yet. Maybe it'll come up.
Yeah. I, yeah.
Yeah,
Now.
it's coming up. Yeah,
Okay. So this is the Vanare Shetkari Kutumb Jaivik Kendra. So to
yeah,
translate that, it's Vanare family. Banudas Vanare is a family. It's Shetkari Kutumb because both Ganga and Banu are involved, and the kids as well. And Jaivik is natural. So natural Kendra. Jaivik is bio. So we'll talk
yeah,
about that because under that
yeah,
you see Shendriya, Naisargik, Jaivik means organic, natural, and bio.
yeah.
Bio is microorganisms, beneficial bacteria and fungus. Nivishta is inputs. Rope is we're going to do nurseries. And we have an orchard, so we will also sell organic produce. So
Okay.
this is in Nandura in Buldana district, very near Shegaon, which is a holy place for Gajanan Maharaj, and we are 20 kilometers from there. And we are the primary, Banu and I have worked this together. We also have other institutions that have helped us along with the process with some technical advice and all that. So I'll quickly go through about 13 slides, which give you a window about what the center is, and then
Yeah.
we, talk about more in detail about what this is. So this is the shed, uh, which is you can see it, Deepak.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this has all the vermicompost pits. So this is where our
Uh,
all earthworms live, and we give them gobar of the guy. So so they make a very very rich vermicompost. So this is full of earthworms, and
okay.
we nourish them with various inputs, leftover tree cutting, even bio waste like food, veggies, and
Okay.
gobar is the main ingredient. So this is our shed, giving them a little climate control because it's very hot outside.
So you have these holding sort of pits
Yes, yes. And
raised.
so you have farmer Banudas demonstrating to farmers who are visiting,
Yes.
how to handle them, how they look, kids look, older earthworms look. And the right side is how we when we want to separate the worms from their, output, which is, very rich mud, we filter them like that. And we put the
Okay.
worms back into the pit. Okay.
Okay.
So the worms multiply here. This is another way of putting them. These are plastic bags. These are, cloth
Uh,
bags, cloth plastic bags. You can grow them like this as well. So we present different options for different farmers depending
I
on your
see.
budget. You can keep it under a tree like this. You get these
Uh-huh.
bags now. You get green, bags, all sorts of shapes, all sorts of sizes. You can buy them and do the same thing that we have done in the pits. So
Okay.
between our lemon trees, which is the farmer's orchard, we have put this. So we give alternatives and options to farmers for every
Uh-huh.
budget, right? So
Okay.
they have to be given some shade. This is the bio farming I'm talking about. These are cultures of bacteria and fungi, mother
Okay.
cultures that have been diluted. So farmers want to come and and not only that, there are also concoctions that we have made. So
Okay.
Dashmi Ark is 10 leaves of 10 plants that goats don't eat, put in cow urine and make it. And that's a very good nutrient as well as pesticide for plants. So
Okay.
we have azotobacter that you see in the first one. That is a beneficial microbe that we
Yeah.
put in liquid form and we'll sell it. So this is our
Okay.
microbe room, all mother cultures which have been diluted.
I see.
And these are amino acids, so you can make it from fish, like the it says, with eggs and various inputs that we have made and kept it. These are all for demo purposes. We'll make it in bigger quantities if somebody wants to order it.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, so I'll just quickly go through because we don't have much time. But this is Jivamrit, which is another concoction. And you can see the bag, which is full of gas. So we can use the biogas as well. The pipe
I
that comes
see.
out is the Jivamrit. Right?
Okay.
So you can see cows behind. We have a fenced off area for the cows under the lemon orchard.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are Jivamrit, which is making another input, which is a biopesticide, bionutrient, biofertilizer. This is biogas. So we also have
Hmm.
biogas and the slurry. Of course, we put gobar in it, and the gas we use it for our kitchens. So these are
Okay.
setups we have put between trees. This is
Uh,
biochar. We are trying to burn off this agriculture waste to create something like charcoal, and that is carbon. And you can put it in trees, and biochar is very hot right now. So we are experimenting with that, and we'll also demo different types of way to burn the wood, safely to create this biochar. So this is how it looks. It's not
okay.
charcoal, but it's more powdered, crushable charcoal. So
I
you,
see.
and it gives direct carbon to the soil, and it is fantastic input for plants. This is
Okay.
azula, which is a algae, and which we feed to cows and poultry. It's got very
Oh,
good nitrogen, and it grows very fast in water. So three different ways of doing it. One we have done it in plastic. One we have dug a pit and उसके ऊपर plastic sheet डाला है. नहीं तो ये green bag में grow किया है. So different options we present to the farmers. See, you can do it so many ways, and we harvest it every 15 days and give it to the cows and poultry. These are the
okay.
cows. We have about 16 cows. We will go up to 50. That is our plan. We don't milk them, so we'll have to figure out the economics. We are still on that. Right now, we just use their gobar and urine, and
Okay.
we put that into inputs. So that's all I got. Just a quick window into what our setup is.
So, what I don't understand when you say we don't milk them, then how does it the economics? I mean, the cows are being supported by the foundation right now.
Right. The cows have been supported by a foundation, and we plan to do a lot of spiritual activities as well because cow is a central element for people get married, they want to go and donate to the cow. The Godan is a very integral part of our culture that we
Yeah.
plan to raise money through that income stream as well. That people
Yeah.
want to come and do any puja, Godan, and all that. So we
Correct.
will figure out the milk economics, but these are deeper. A lot of them are leftover cows. In the sense, farmers have just come and given their cows because they can't take care of it. It's too expensive for them. So we have taken those cows. These are trafficked cows. One farmer just we come once with there's a cow tied to our fence. Some farmer has come and abandoned his cow and gone. So
Oh.
ऐसा भी हो रहा है because farmers
So
are
when
not.
you say trafficked cows, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
because they go for they can't take care of it, too expensive to sell it off, which is illegal in Maharashtra. That they just sell it off for beef,
Ah, okay.
and they are caught in nighttime raids. So we take those cows as well. So they are not in the
Okay.
best condition, and injured. All sorts of stuff happens. So nobody wants them. There is a cattle problem in the streets. Farmers are just abandoning the cows because during summer, especially now, there is no water. It's too hot, and I have to take care of my family. So I'm not judging the farmer as such. Let me
Got
be
it.
clear. There are a lot of things that drive them to do what they're doing. Unfortunately,
It's
and some things are beyond their
correct.
control. So anyway, so we take those cows. We don't have an economic model for it, to be honest with you right now. We'll have
Okay.
to
All
figure out
right.
because milking it takes labor, and we
Okay.
don't have labor is a very precious resource right now because very few people want to do that.
So in the demo for the farm, how does one so the KVK arranges for the visitors and how do
Right.
people
So all
discover
also
Shekru?
the stakeholders are there. So
Okay.
also the stakeholders want to come now and do training there. We are quite open source about it, and we want to remain that way. We will
Yeah.
be open source. We will charge something, of course, be it
Sure.
nominal and food and whatever things are to be provided for. But we want to be open source. We want to discuss everything because we want to evangelize there, and we will sell the inputs also for those people that don't want to make it. See, that's a distinction between organic and natural farming. In natural farming, we say you can make everything with the stuff that you have in your plot. So नीम का
Correct.
टी है, नीम का ये बनाओ, नीम का ये बनाओ concoctions, उससे ये करो, treat करो.
Mm.
You can 80% to 90% to 100%. Some people are saying 100%. I will take a very conservative approach, but a lot of costs that you spend on chemicals can be reduced by growing herbs and shrubs and trees that you can use in natural, things like neem, karanj,
Fantastic.
so many things are there. So there are wonderful people that have worked on it. We are not the originators of it. We have a history of it. We just want to popularize it. We want to
Got it.
open source it. We want to demo it. We want people to get hands-on experience and go and do it. A lot of people are doing it, and a lot of respect for them. I belong to the network. I get motivated for those people, and that is very important because there is a lot of movement against this as well. So the challenge for the entrepreneur to remain motivated comes from a peer group that you create, you know,
Yes.
and a mentor group that you create. So it is very important that you and Milind were part of this journey. It was very important for me that XYZ, so many other people were there because they gave such a drive without. I mean, I may not be saying that. I don't call up and tell you, Deepa, you're great, thank you. But it is an invisible thing that you associate people that are doing good are positive because the negativity out there is too much. The challenges out there so much, and the dark nights, you're like, why am I doing it? Why am I doing this? And a lot of people tell you as well. I have friends that razz me all the time that say, why are you going and sitting in Buldara? Go back to Seattle. We'll have a good life. Nay, I mean, the heart is there. I found a purpose now. So why would I do that? And
Fabulous.
yeah.
We've come to the closing moments of our talk, but I do want Ananth to give us a call for action for all of us out there who are watching. How can we support Ananth in the purpose that affects all of us? because this has to do with our food, this has to do with our health, this has to do with our planet, this has to do with climate. Uh,
Yeah.
this has to do with the farmers and they staying motivated to grow food for us, for the livestock that we need to also take care of. So, I will tell our audience a little bit about how can we contribute to this dream, to your mission, to your purpose.
Come visit us. That will be the first thing. Come stay with us for a couple of days, and you see it for yourself. You feel it, and you see the challenges we encounter, and the positivity as well, and what love animals give us when we give them love. So feel that as well. That is the first thing. Second thing, start getting with what you put in your mouth, getting to know about it. And I think a lot of people are creating that awareness that it's our life. Food is fundamental for our life, and it's very, very important to know what goes into our mouth and create the connections with farmers. There are a lot of wonderful organizations that are connected directly to farmers, support them. So you can also get good quality food, pay for that food a little bit of premium because the farmer, if you create that trust relationship with your local farmer, there's nothing like it. You will get, they will benefit, you will also get. And there are so many things that go with it. Curbing rural to urban migration, we have to support agriculture. We don't have a choice. It is our existence. We have to contribute to our farmers because farming itself in these days of climate change is fundamentally unsustainable. It's very difficult to be sitting in 47 degrees and doing it, and livestock and all that. So we need the urban population to support in any manner possible, in all manner. Get involved with farmers, get involved with your food, see where it's coming from, demand high quality food. That food gives you good energy. This is our existence, and we have to do for our motherland. It has given so much to us. There is no choice. We have to get involved. There is no excuse, absolutely no excuse that I have a job. There is weekend available, and there are so many initiatives now with citizen initiatives happening, connecting to farmers, finding genuine organizations that are working with it. In a 50-kilometer radius, step out, you'll see some farmers. Go talk to them and see if you can make a direct connection. So this is what a call to action is from me: that get involved. You cannot be insular and wait because it will affect you. We are all interconnected. We are all interconnected. Every small thing makes a difference. Every small thing. You can't say it's such a big country, I'm getting overwhelmed. No excuse, absolutely. Get involved. That's a call to action, Deepa.
Amazing. Anand, thank you for your passion. Thank you for everything that you do and keep on inspiring us by pushing the bar. And it's really, for all of us, a lot of food for thought that Anand has given us. So, Anand is continuously doing work. I haven't talked about the efforts he puts behind with his other environmental groups when he's here doing mangrove cleanups, but that's for another conversation. Today we kept the focus on Shekru, and thank you for the sharing the genesis of your journey of coming down, what brought took you away, what brought you back, and what helped you stay put. So we really are grateful for this conversation. And then thank you so much, and three cheers to your the farmer families that you work with as well, who have made this possible. And we will come and visit. And I really hope the pilgrims that go to Shegao really see this as a place that they can go again to continue on that inspiring journey that they have received at Shegao by
Yep.
visiting your uh, place and the farm.
Yep. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Anand. Thank you so much.